so you can monitor the position of your flight controls. Pull the control stick aft of center and hold it there to keep the tail wheel locked for taxiing. To practice taxi control, we will use a lead car to take you through a short taxiing course. The car is now waiting in position to your left. Press the spacebar key when you are ready to begin. The car will now drive forward at about 10 mph. Add a little power to begin moving forward. Use the numpad plus and minus keys to control the throttle. Use the Z and X keys to control the rudder pedals to turn left and right. Use the W key to depress the wheel brakes as required. Zigzag from side to side as you follow the car through the course. Try to stay between 100 and 300 feet from the car. Don't worry, if you get too far behind, it will stop until you catch up. Don't get too close either, or the driver will panic from fear of being turned into mincemeat and will stop. The car will now turn onto the taxiway to the right. The car has stopped so you can catch up. The car has stopped so you can catch up. Welcome to the takeoff lesson. Press the spacebar key to begin. The 51 is generally very controllable in takeoff, but the powerful engine and large propeller spinning at the front do require careful use of the rudder in order to maintain a straight course down the runway. A right rudder trim of 5 to 6 degrees is a standard takeoff setting and is usually sufficient to maintain directional stability in the takeoff run. A normal takeoff is performed at takeoff power, which is 61 inches of manifold pressure at 3,000 RPM. However, to minimize controllability issues while practicing, we will take off at a reduced power setting of about 50 inches of manifold pressure. Press the spacebar key to proceed. Your primary instruments during the takeoff run will be the airspeed indicator on the left side of the instrument panel and the manifold pressure indicator on the right side. Once in the air, we will use the turn indicator and the rate of climb indicator to maintain a desired flight path. Press the spacebar key to proceed. The first key element of a successful takeoff is a gradual onset of power. You cannot just slam the throttle forward. The torque effects of a sudden burst of power are very likely to run you off the runway and into the grass with devastating results. The other key element is the tail lift. As the aircraft accelerates toward 100 miles per hour, the tail will lift itself off the ground, unless held down with some stick back pressure. You can perform a takeoff without a tail lift by simply holding the stick back to maintain a 3-point attitude until the plane flies itself off the ground. Most pilots, however, prefer to let the tail rise up to continue accelerating while running on the front wheels before lifting off into the air. Press the spacebar key to proceed. The takeoff starts with the stick held back to keep the tail wheel locked for a controlled ground run. To perform a tail lift, neutralize the stick as speed approaches 100 miles per hour. Be careful to avoid lifting the tail too early by pushing the stick forward. The changes in pitch angles occurring during the tail lift cause significant directional instability, which is more difficult to control at slower speeds. Careful rudder input will be required to maintain heading as the tail lifts. You may need to alternate a bit of right and left rudder input before stabilizing for the liftoff. Press the spacebar key to proceed. Flaps are not used in a normal takeoff. 15 to 20 degrees of down flaps are used when a minimum run takeoff is required. Press right control plus enter to open the controls indicator so you can monitor the position of your flight controls. To prepare for the takeoff run, set the rudder trim to about 5 degrees right. Click and drag the rudder trim tab control wheel. On the throttle quadrant, make sure the RPM lever is set all the way forward to increase. If not, press and hold the page up key to set it. Hold down the wheel brakes using the W key. Using the numpad plus and minus keys, control the throttle to set the manifold pressure to about 30 inches. Keep the stick pulled somewhat aft of neutral to keep the tail wheel locked. Whenever you're ready, release the wheel brakes to begin the takeoff run. Use the rudder or Z and X keys to maintain your heading down the runway. Gradually add power to set about 50 inches of manifold pressure. Neutralize the stick to lift the tail. Easy on the rudder. Gently pull back on the stick to take off. Watch the turn indicator and use your rudder and aileron control to maintain your takeoff flight path by keeping the ball and needle sitting. Retract the gear with the G key. Monitor the landing gear warning lights to make sure the gear retracts and locks successfully. Lights extinguished. Quickly check the engine gauge to make sure the oil temperature and pressure are showing normal readings. Also check the coolant temperature gauge for a normal reading. Reduce power to maximum continuous by first setting 46 inches manifold pressure and then reducing RPM to 2700. Good approximate climb speed is 170 mph. Set a desired climb rate using the rate of climb indicator and trim the aircraft to maintain the flight path. As you continue to climb, monitor the instruments to make sure the aircraft is operating normally. This concludes the takeoff lesson. Well done, pilot.
Georgia, sir. I've been asked to accompany you on a familiarization flight of the AOR. Here at Viziani, the 492nd Strike Eagles are at the eastern end of the base, and we're on the western side. Once you take off, I'll be right behind you, and we'll head west over to Tbilisi.
Chevy 31, Magic 11, Bra 345 490 at 25,000, flanking. Chevy 31, Vazani, clear to taxi to runway 13. Rolling. Chevy 31, unable to clear for takeoff. Chevy 31, Vazani, you are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 28.34.
Rustavi, southwest of the capital, and we'll keep heading west. Off your right wing is Sogolong Air Base. They used to build frog puts down there, but now the 52nd Fighter Wings A-10s and F-16s are using it. Further to the north is Tbilisi-Lucchini Airport that our tankers and AWACS are using. We're now over to Tbilisi proper, and the focus of our defensive operations here in Georgia.
5,000, flanking. Chevy 3-1, Magic 1-1, pop-up group 349, Ford 130 at 3,000, hot. Chevy 3-1, Magic 1-1, pop-up group 350, Ford 130 at 3,000, hot.
This is Caspi, and this will serve as a common navigation point for us.
Chevy 3-1, Magic 1-1, Bra 350, Ford 100 at 7,000, hot. Chevy 3-1, Magic 1-1, Bra 351, Ford 110 at 7,000, hot. Which is the largest city south of the FIBA. This will also be a good navigation point for us. The
FIBA's about 85 clicks to the northwest of us.
Contact bearing 331.90.
Now reached the western extent of our flight that is marked by the city of Kashiri below us. We'll backtrack to the northeast behind the FIBA. Below us is the western group of Georgian forces. The Russians are just north, so be careful not to stray north where their C-19s may take a shot at you. Eastern Group of Georgia forces. They are mostly composed of older T-72s and BMP-2s, no match with Russian T-90s and BMP-3s to the north. Let's keep heading east and head back to base.
Chevy 3-1, Magic 1-1, Bra 333 470 at 29,000, flanking. Chevy 3-1, Magic 1-1, Bra 332 470 at 29,000, flanking. Chevy 3-1, Magic 1-1, Bra 345 460 at Station 5000, 121, 414 at 12,000.
Chevy 3-1, Magic 1-1, Bra 346, 470 at 25,000, flanking.
Our base in Viziani is in sight. Go ahead and contact ATC and land. Nice flying with you, sir.
Chevy 3-1, inbound.
Chevy 3-1, Rosani, fly heading 35340, QFE 28.34, runway 13 to pattern altitude.
Chevy 3-1, Magic 1-1, Bra 346, 470 at 25,000, flanking.
Chevy 3-1, cleared for visual, contact tower.
Chevy 3-1, request landing.
Chevy 3-1, Rosani, cleared to land, runway 13, wind 145 at 4 meters per second.